Hello friends, very good morning to you. This presentation is for the BA students M5 Department of English, Sri R. R. Lalan College, Bhuj, Kranti Guru Shyamji Krishna Verma, Kutch University. The course title of this paper is Language and Linguistics, CEEN 515A. I, Dr. S.H. Jadeja, is going to present this paper, first unit's first topic in this paper. In this paper, in this course, the titled Language and Linguistics, you will have 3 units. In first unit, you have Language and Linguistics. There are 2 subtopics like defining languages, features of human language, defining linguistics, its nature, branches and scope. Then after, in second unit, that is phonetics, you are going to study phonetics, its meaning and significance. Then afterwards, human speech mechanism. Then vowels and consonants, articulation and function, phonetic transcriptions and international phonetic alphabet. In third unit, you will have phonology. Phonology, its meaning, then the concept of phoneme, dividing a word into syllable, rules for placement of primary stress on words, strong, weak, contracted forms of English, intonation, different direction of pitch movement, and then last, falling tone, rising tone, falling, rising tone, rising, falling tone. So here we are going to discuss the first topic from your first unit, that is language and linguistics. We are going to discuss in this presentation defining language, and the second thing that we will discuss, that features of human language. Now, before defining language, I want you to ask, what is language? What is language? So we all know that, everybody knows that what is language, but when somebody asks us to define it, so to define it properly is little bit hard. We will think about what to add, what not to add, from where to start. So in a very proper way, in a very standard level, it is difficult to define it. However, there are various well-known linguistics have tried to define the term language in a standard level. But in simple, we can say that language is made of sounds, vowel sounds and consonant sounds, and then alphabets. Then with the help of these sounds and alphabets, we will create words, phrases, and then we will create sentences. Then so and so. So we can say that in a simple term, that language is made of sounds, alphabets, words and sentences. Language is a medium of communication. So language is a medium for what? For communication. Language is a medium to express and share ideas and emotions. So in order to express and share our emotions, our feelings, our ideas, we need a medium. Without a medium, how can we share it? So we need a medium, and that medium is language. So that is why language is very important for human communication. We can't think people, society, country without a language. Can we think it? No, we can't think it. So that is why language is very important. Language is very significant for human race, for human communication. Language, in another term, we can say that is a set of sounds and written symbols which are used by the people of a particular country or region. There are various numbers of scholars, they have defined language. Let us have a look on it. The first Speer said that language is a purely human. Language is purely human and non-instinctive method of communicating ideas, emotions, and desires by means a system of voluntary produced symbols. So here there are two terms in this definition that call for discussion, that is human and non-instinctive. Language, as Speer rightly said, that it is human. Only humans possesses language, and all normal humans uniformly possesses. So all normal humans uniformly possess it. They have it. Animals do have a communication system. Animals do have a communication system, but it is not a developed system. The communication system of animals, they are not so far as developed system. That is why language is said to be species specific and species uniform. Also, language does not pass from a parent to a child. In this sense, it is non-instinctive, means a child has to learn a language, and he or she learns the language of the society he or she is placed in. So wherever they are born or they are living, they will have to learn the particular countries, the particular communities, or the particular society's language. They are not passed, or the language is not given by a parent to a child. The next definition that is given by Noam Chomsky is a language is a set of sentences, each finite in length and constructed out of a finite set of elements. So here Noam Chomsky is meant to convey that each sentences have a structure. Language is a set of sentences. That means each sentence have a structure. Human brain is competent enough to construct different sentences from out of the limited set of sounds, symbols belonging to a particular language. That is why human brain is so productive that a child can at any time produce a sentence that has never been said or heard earlier. Furthermore, Wang is also described, or he defined the definition of language, that a language is a system of arbitrary vocal symbols used for human communication. Afterwards, Bloch and Traeger also said that the language is a system of arbitrary. That means arbitrary means not seeming to be based on any reason or plan. Means something is not already planned, it is arbitrary. A language is a system of arbitrary vocal symbols by means of which a social group cooperates. So social group will cooperate through the medium of language, and this language is a system of arbitrary. So both this definition point out that language is a system. Sounds join to form words according to a system. Say for example, the letters K, N, I, T join to form a meaningful word, neat, whereas combinations like N, K, I, T or T, K, N, I do not form any meaningful or sensible combinations. Although initially the formation of words, as said earlier, is only arbitrary, convention makes them part of a system. Words to join to form sentences according to some system. A sentence like cricket is a game of glorious uncertainties is acceptable, but one cannot accept a string of words like a game is of cricket, uncertainties glorious. It is in this sense that language is said to be a system of systems. Afterwards, Debreschel said that language is undoubtedly a kind of means of communication among human beings. So undoubtedly, without any doubt, it's a kind of means of communication among human beings. It consists primarily of vocal sounds. It is articulatory, systematic, symbolic and arbitrary. So here what he means that while accepting that language is property of human beings, it is a property of human beings. It belongs to human, and that is primarily speech, brings out the point that it is important means of communication among humans. Before the start of civilization, men might have used the language of science, but it must have had a very limited scope. Language is fully developed means of communication with the civilized man, who can convey and receive millions of messages across the universe. An entire civilization depends on language only. Think of a world without language. Men would only continue to be denizens of the forest and caves. So without language, we can't think about the words today that we are having right now. Language has changed the entire human relations and made it possible for human beings to grow into a human community on this planet, on this earth. Furthermore, as per the Encyclopedia Britannica, language is a system of conventional spoken or written symbols by means of which human beings as a member of social group and participants in its culture communicate. And then Lyons opines that languages are the principal system of communication used by particular groups of human beings within the particular society of which they are members. So in short, it is clearly evident from all these definitions, none of which completely defines the term language, that it is not possible to have a single one certain definition that brings out all the properties of language. On the basis of these definitions, one can, however, list out the various characteristics or features of language. It would therefore be better to list these characteristics and discuss this in detail. So now we are going to discuss the characteristics or features of language. The first is language is a means of communication. So the first feature of language is a means of communication. Language is, we know that, very important means for communication between humans. No doubt that there are many other means of communication used by humans, say for example gestures, notes, winks, flags, smiles, horns, shorthand, then mathematical symbols, Morse code, sirens, sketches, maps, acting, mimicry, dancing, etc. We all have this communication used by us. But all these systems of communication are extremely limited, or they too in turn depend upon language only. They are not so flexible, comprehensive, perfect, and extensive as language is. Language is so important for a form of communication between humans that is difficult to think. So it is very difficult to think of a society without language. It gives shape to people's thoughts and guides and controls their entire activity. So without language, we can't think about our life in a sense that we can't share our emotions, our feelings, our ideas to anybody. We need language, at least. It is a carrier of civilization and culture, as human thoughts and philosophy are conveyed from one generation to the other through the medium of language. That is why language is species specific and species uniform. Humans are called as the talking animals. Human can store knowledge, and with the medium of language, human can store knowledge and transfer it to the next generation. Animals too have their system of communication, but their communication is limited to very small numbers of messages. Say for example, hunger, fear, and anger. In the case of humans, the situation is entirely different. Human beings can send an infinite number of messages to their fellow beings, means to other human beings, to their family, to their friends, to their teachers, etc. It is through language that they store knowledge, transfer it to the next generation, so in the form of book, in the form of novel, in the form of epic, which can give morals or any messages like that. So it can store knowledge and transform. We can transfer this knowledge to the next generation. And it can also combine the present and past together. So in the form of, with the medium of knowledge, with the medium of language, we can store our present days as well as our past days, and we can talk about or have a discussion on future together. with the medium of language. Other feature is that language is arbitrary. Language is arbitrary in the sense that there is no inherent relation between the words of a language and their meanings or the ideas conveyed by them. There is no reason why a female adult human being be called a woman in English, स्त्री in Hindi, औरत in Urdu, zen in Persian, feminine in French, or tinwi in Punjabi. Selection of these words in the languages mentioned hereby is purely arbitrary, means it is not based on any reason, any kind of planned or any reason based. It is just like Christianizing a newborn baby who may be Christianized John or James. But once a child is given some name in a purely arbitrary manner, this name gets associated with the child for his entire life, and it becomes an important established convention. The situation in the case of the language is similar one. The choice of a word selected to mean a particular thing or idea is purely arbitrary. There is no based reason behind it. But once a word is selected for a particular reference, it comes to stay, such as language is a social. So, language is a social. Language is a set of conventional communicative signals used by humans for communication in a community. In a community, in country, humans are using a set of conventional communicative signals. Then, language is a possession of a social group. In social group, you can see a particular or a kind of a language a society or groups are using. It is a comprising an indispensable set of rules which permits its members to relate to each other. So language comprising an indispensable set of rules which permits its members to relate to each other. Language is to interact with each other. It is a social institution. Language exists only in a society. So in society you can see a language. Where there is no society, you can't see a even human being or a language. Language is a means of nourishing and developing culture and establishing human relationship. So language developed culture and also it establishes human relationships. Language is a symbolic. Language consists various sound symbols and their graphological counterparts that are employed to denote some objects or meaning. So, these symbols are arbitrarily chosen. Without any reasons, these symbols are chosen and conventionally accepted and employed. Means ordinary it is accepted and employed. Say for example the symbol of Om, it represents the Hinduism. The symbol of cross, it represents Christianity. So like that. So these all symbols are arbitrarily chosen and conventionally accepted and employed. Words in a language are not mere signs or figures. Words in a language, they are not just merely as signs or figures, but symbols of the meaning. So these symbols, these words, these signs are having their meaning. The intelligibility of a language depends on a correct interpretation of these symbols. So to interpret these symbols correctly, it also depends on the intelligibility of a language. Language is a systematic. Although language is symbolic, yet its symbols are arranged in a particular system. That is why language is a systematic. Language is have their system of arrangements. All the languages, they have their system of arrangements. All the languages have phonological and graphological system of arrangement, and in this they have also the subsystem like morphological system, syntactic system, semantic system, phonological system, phonetic system, etc. So language is a system of system. That is why language is thus called a system of system, as it operates the two levels of discussion. This property of language is also termed as a duality by some linguists. This makes language is very complex phenomenon. Every human child has to master the conventions of the language he or she learns before being able to successfully communicate with other members of the social group in which he or she is placed in. Language is not an amorphous, a disorganized or chaotic combination of sounds. So, thus, language is not just only having sounds and alphabets which are ordered in a very disorganized manner or chaotic combination. Any brick may be used anywhere in a building, but it is not so with sounds or graphic symbols standing for the sound of a language. Sounds are arranged in a certain fixed or established systematic order to form meaningful units or words. Similarly, words are also arranged in a particular system to frame acceptable, meaningful sentence. Language is vocal. Primarily, language is made of vocal sounds. In earlier, people only had sounds, not a written language, not a written graphological form. So language is primarily made up of vocal sounds only produced by a physiological articulatory mechanism in the human body. So human body having a physiological articulatory system in it, and we are producing this vocal sound because of this physiological articulatory mechanism. With the help of respiratory, phonatory and articulatory system, we are producing sounds while inhaling air, and when the air passes through our lungs, then after it release is when while exhaling air from the mouth, it again passing through the lungs while exhaling, and then after it will go from the passage of phonatory system from your vocal cords, and then after with the help of these vocal cords and then with the help of the articulatory systems which includes jaw, lips, teeth, tongue, vulva, soft palate, hard palate, velar, etc. So with the use of this, then these two system, it will create a sound. We can create a sound. So with this physiological articulatory mechanism, human body means we can produce a sound. In the beginning, it must have appeared as vocal sounds only. So in the beginning we had only vocal sounds. Writing must have come much later as an intelligent attempt to represent vocal sounds. So writing, in order to represent our vocal sounds, writing came much later. Writing is only the graphic representation of the sounds of the language. The letter K or Q only represent the sound K. It was only for some sounds that graphic symbols had to invented. There are number of languages which continue to exist even today in the spoken form only. So there are many languages still, they have only spoken form only. They don't have written form. They do not have written form. A child learns to speak first. Writing comes much later. Also, during his lifetime, a man speaks much more than he writes. In short, we speak much in comparison to write. The total quantum of speech is much larger than the total quantum of written materials. So that is why linguistics say that speech is primarily. So according to them, speech is important. Language is non-instinctive, conventional. No language was created in a day out of a mutually agreed upon formula by a group of humans. So not a single language was created, made in a day out of a formula that was mutually agreed upon by all the human groups. Language is the outcome of evolution and agreement. Each generation transmits this agreement, this convention on to the next generation. Like all human institutions, languages also change. It dies, it grows, and it expands. Language is productive and creative. Language has creativity and productivity. That is why we can say that language can expand, language can change, and it can also modify it. The structural elements of human language can be combined to produce new utterance. So we human beings, we are producing new utterance day by day. Say for example, you can observe the ancient English, the ancient old English form. You can observe it earlier in old language. You can notice word like thee, thy, thou, but today we are not using it. No doubt it is not going to suddenly change. Say for example, tomorrow morning you are going to wake up and you will notice that now the language is changed and you are not able to communicate. Why? Because language is changed. You don't know this new language. No, it is not like that. It will take time. It is not going to change tomorrow itself or after 10 days like that. It is not like that. It will take time. Language also changes according to need of society. So the need of society is also required. It plays a significant role in the change of the language. Also, with the medium of language, we can talk across the time and space. We can do it with the help of written language. So, language is also innate, that means inborn. Language is inborn, organized. So it is organized. It was not already there somewhere. It was organized in the society by people who are living in that particular community or in country. It was organized and produced in this society. It was not something which was already there or something which was already which is inbuilt in the mind of people, like we are having inbuilt software in our cell phones and computer. It was not like that at all. Language is culturally transmitted, means you can transmit this language to your culture. In a society there is a culture and it is also transmitted. Animals cannot acquire language that we human being acquired. Animals do have their communication system, but it is totally different from the communication system that we have it as a language. Language is human, that means language is for or it is used by human, not it is used by animals. Humans convey and receive an infinite numbers of messages. We are having infinite numbers of messages. We can convey it, we can tell, and we can say it to our friends, our family, and they will also reply us, means we will receive also response from other human being in a society. But in comparison to our language, human communication system is limited and it is undeveloped. Say for example, the way we are having language, we can't have it. Animal communication system is limited. They can't have a message like us. They can give a signal when they are hungry. Say for example, lioness can tell to her baby lions that now we can go for hunting and you can wait for me, we will go together, like that. But it is altogether different. They can convey their messages for hunger, for angry, like that, but it is altogether different. Animal communication system are closed system. So this system of animal communication is closed. It is not open. It is not unlimited. It permits no changes. Means whatever they are having the signals and whatever they are having the codes of communication, they are permits no change. They are not going to differ it. They are not going to develop it. Human language is modifiable. Human language, we humans can modify our language. We can extend it, so it is extendable and open ended. So after ages we can also changes. Also, the human language is structurally more complex than animal communication system. In human language we are having grammar, we are having everything, and we are having all it by structure wise. We have to follow structure. We can't just set any sounds, vowels and consonant anywhere and we can create a new word. It is not like that. It is systematic. It has a structure. Human language makes use of clearly distinguishable, separately identifiable symbols, while animal communication systems are often continuous and non-discrete. That is why animal communication systems are closed systems and permit no change. Whereas, as I said that earlier, that the language, that is human language for communication is modifiable, extendable and open-ended. Human language is structurally, that is why, more complex in comparison to animal communication. And language is inseparable part of human society. So that is why it is inseparable part. We human being, we people, we can't think our life without language. We need language in order to pass a message to our friends, to our family, to our teachers, to our elders, to our youngers. So everywhere, daily, or each and every minute, we need language. Without language, we human being can't survive. We can survive, but we can survive like a man who were used to live in caves earlier. So without language, we can't survive. We can share our emotions, desires, our ideas. Also, we can develop our thoughts. We can expand our reasoning and logic with the help of this language. So it is as difficult to define the term like language as it is to define them like life. We all know that what does it mean by life, but when somebody asks that define life, so it is difficult. Just say the same way, like as it is difficult to put the definition or to define language like that, just as life can be defined only in the terms of certain characteristics that we can include as growth, reproduction, respiration, etc. Language can also be defined in terms of its characteristics. Various linguists have tried to define language in their own ways, but one would like to list all the characteristics or features of language as contained in these definitions. So, as we discuss the various characteristics or properties or features of language, we can in a nutshell say that language is a means of communication. Language is arbitrary, it is not already planned, or it doesn't have a reason. The language is a system of systems. Language is vocal and language is symbolic. Language is conventional and it is non-instinctive. Further, language is productive and creative. Language is a system of system. Language is a social. We can't think about society without language. So these are the few characteristics of language. Language is today an inseparable part of human society. Human civilization has been possible only through language. Human civilization has been possible only through language. It is through language only that humanity, has come out of the Stone Age and has developed science, art, and technology in a big way. So now, after discussing what is language and its feature, means characteristic of language, there must a question in our mind that why study language? Why to study a language? So this question is for you to think about it. Ponder on it and list out the things why we people need to study language. Think about it, refer books if you want, and just go through all the details, and even also have a discussion with your friends and your teachers, and list out the points that why we human beings need to study language. The reference for this presentation is from the book that is entitled An Introduction to Linguistics, Language, Grammar and Semantics by publisher Semantics by Pushpender Sale and D.V. Jindal, Princess Hall of India Private Limited. Other recommended reading books for this your paper, Language and Linguistics, are listed below. The first is The Study of Language by George Yule, Cambridge University Press, 1985. Then Modern Linguistics, and Introduction by S.K. Verma and N. Krishnaswamy, OUP 1989. Then Language and Linguistics, an Introduction by John Lyon, Cambridge University Press, 1981. Last, A Textbook of English Phonetics for Indian Students by T. Balasubramaniam, Macmillan India Private Limited, 1981. Thank you so much, friends. Have a good day.